So after you've washed your apples, you're going to want to peel them. I highly recommend having a peeler slicer like what I've got here. It peels it, takes off the core, and slices the apple all at the same time. I'll show you how that works. You just stick your apple on here like this, and then turn the handle till it comes forward. Your core is going to go right through the middle and get taken off. And then you got your nice long core, or nice long slice of peel there. So you just pull this off. See, there's our core. And then we've got this apple here. Just have to cut off any brown spots, of course, but you can see how it's like this. So if you just slice down the middle right there, then you're going to have nice slices to throw in your slow cooker. And once you're done, you just pull off the core. And then to pull it back, you just push this handle down, pull like that, and you're ready for your next apple. So there's just like this little thing here you push, and that's how you pull that back. Okay, then we're going to do one more apple here. Get that peeled up for you. So again, you just stick it on at the core, and you go forward like this. And it'll start peeling it. Oopsie. If it comes loose, you just got to tighten it down below. And then, whoopsie, a little bit more, I guess. There we go. And then, like that. Okay, and then you can see, here's our apple. And it's all nice and sliced here. And then you just take a knife, right down the middle, like that, and you've got nice apple slices. Okay. And this is some cinnamon, about 2½ teaspoons of cinnamon that we're going to add in. So we've already added the apples, sugar, brown sugar, and cinnamon. And now we're going to add the ½ teaspoon of allspice and also a ¼ teaspoon of nutmeg. Those are both in this little dish. So we'll add those in. And now it's ready to slow cook. Okay, these apples have been slow cooking for about 5 hours and are ready to be mashed. Now you'll see, ooh, it's steamy, sorry. Now you'll see that there's liquid in there. For apple butter, you need to cook off all that liquid. So it's gonna take a little while. But I can mash it up now at least and see how thick it is, and then eyeball it to keep figuring out when it is done, because you want it to be thick enough that you can spread it on toast and not have your toast be totally soggy, of course. See, right now it's kind of applesauce-ish consistency, so I'm going to keep slow cooking it for a little while and mashing as I go. But the banana or the potato masher works really well for doing this. Takes a little bit, a little arm workout going on. Anyway, but then I'm going to put the lid on and just let this keep slow cooking, probably for a few more hours still, because I want to get it so it's not too wet, like I said. So we'll check back soon. Okay, and this apple butter is done. I've mashed it up really good to get the chunks pretty mushed up, and you can see it's quite thick. So this will be perfect if you make some toast, put a little butter on, spread on a little apple butter. It will be absolutely delicious, and it smells amazing. I wish you could smell my kitchen right now. It's all cinnamony and It smells like apple pie. It's fantastic. Anyway, be sure to share this with your friends on social media if you have somebody you think might be interested in trying to make apple butter. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye. So you can see I've got my apple butter in the pot, and I have my water heating for processing my jars, and then the lids are back here. Remember to use brand new lids each time, just so you make sure you get a good seal. The water's not boiling on that yet. I'll turn it on in a little bit once the other things are getting hot, because this little pan doesn't take as long to heat up. And once the apple butter is hot and the jars are hot, which they're in my dishwasher getting hot right now, then I can add the apple butter to the jars and we can get started processing. Okay, I'm on my second batch of canning the apple butter, so I want to do a quick video just to show you how to get it ready to go in the processor and put it in there, in case you've not done that before. So I've got apple butter in here that is hot. Back here there's a small pan behind the apple butter that has my lids in it, which are also hot. And then I've got hot water in there to process in. The jars that the apple butter is going to go in are in my dishwasher, and I've been running it on hot rinse, so they're nice and hot as well. You don't want to put hot things in a cold jar, I promise you. If you do, you'll regret it, because I've done it before. I did it once when I was one short on jars, and I ended up doing pickles in a cold jar, and the jar cracked in the processor and pickles were all over the place inside. So always make sure your jars are hot and your fruit or whatever, in this case apple butter, is hot, because if one's cold and one's hot, it doesn't go well. Anyway, so we've got this all ready. I'm going to grab a jar. Now when your jars are hot, we have this jar lifter right here that you use, and then this magnet, it's a little magnet on the end of the stick, that's for taking the lid out of the little saucepan back there when we're ready. Okay, now we're going to get this out. I'm just going to start with one jar. So there's a small jar. I've got a funnel and a ladle. So I'm just gonna take this hot apple butter, put it in here. And in case you've not had apple butter before, it's really tasty. You just put it on toast or rolls or potato pancakes. That's good. I've had that before. Regular pancakes even, French toast. You can put it anywhere. It's just like a topping. You know how people put Nutella on stuff? Well, same idea. Anyway, I'm going to take the lid off there and get out one of these lids. So see, I've got a lid here, which I'm going to put down on here. And then you want to just wipe that off. And then you put one of the screw-on lids on after that. So just put that on. Things are too hot to touch, just use a little towel or something. Like here, I'm just going to go like that and screw it on. Make sure you get it on there nice and snug and that it's on properly so that you'll have a good seal. And then once you've got your jar, this jar is pretty hot, I can feel it. Then you're just gonna take the lid off your pot. Good idea to use a towel so you don't burn your fingers like I just did. And then just pick up your jar lifter and set it in here. Now once you have them all in, you're gonna sink that, and I'll show you real quick how to sink it. Oops, sorry, bumped my camera there. When you're ready to sink it, you'll just lift these up and then let it go down in the water. But I've got a couple more jars to put in, so I'm not going to do that quite yet. So the last 3 jars are in my processor now. The first batch had a full processor with a whole bunch of jars, but this is the last 3. I also have this one jar you can see here that's not full. That one, because there's way too much air in it, I'm not going to bother processing. That one I'll just put a lid on and put in the fridge, and we'll use that one first. These others will be shelf stable. So I'm going to go ahead and sink these down into the water. And you're going to want to have these processing at a rolling boil, so you want to make sure it's on high, which it is, and you'll do those at a rolling boil for about 20 minutes. Unless you live at a high altitude, then you add about an extra 5 minutes for every 1,000 over 5,000 feet. For me, I add an extra 10 minutes. I live in Salt Lake City, so we're kind of high up there. Anyway, once it's done processing, then I'll show you how to take them out. Okay, our apple butter's done processing. So I'm going to go ahead and take the lid off the water bath canner. And very carefully, I'm going to use my heating pads to lift this out of the pot. And you just set it like that. Let it cool that way for about 5 minutes or so. And then use the jar lifter that I showed you before to put it over on a towel, and you'll want to let it sit for a while. Once it's completely cool, I usually just wipe off the top, use a Sharpie and write apple butter and when it was canned, so that when I'm rotating food storage, I always use the oldest things first. And then it's ready to go. You can use it on anything that needs a little topping, whether it be toast or French toast or potato pancakes, biscuits, anything like that. Hope you enjoy it.